If you guys are looking for a good algae scraper, I'm going to show you 2 of them to stay away from and 2 of them that you definitely want. But these ones here, they suck. Let's get into it. I made a video some months back about algae scrapers, and if you can check that out, it's titled A Word on Algae Scrapers if you want to check that one out too. But wanted to bring this subject back up a little bit because I was recently using them, and I just don't understand why this company would make an algae scrubber like this. Let's have a look at it. These, I'm sure you've all seen these in the stores. Top fin algae scrubbers. Let me tell you why they suck. They're heavy, they're bulky. This one is made for 125 gallon aquarium. It's got the thicker glass, okay? It should handle it. But watch, as you go, I mean, a lot of algae scrubbers do this bouncing when you're going, but you know, in my opinion, if it's bouncing and like that the whole time you're going, it's not really that good. Then the biggest thing is you come over here to the corner, and I have to be careful here because I don't want them to hit my fish. So we'll come a little lower. Go around the corner, boom. Okay. Okay, that's all well and good. It's not really advertised as a floating one. I get it, but why is it got to be so heavy to where it falls down and sinks like the Titanic? Okay. The other part is it's constantly coming off. You can hear now that there's sand in between there from falling down, and it's so hard to get the sand out of them grooves. I've tried rinsing and tried using a toothbrush to get it out, and it still sticks in there. Once you get sand in these things, it's terrible. You're going to scratch your glass. I don't even want to move it anymore. So you can't go around corners. It falls like a brick in the water. It gets sand trapped in there easily. You can hear that sand grinding in there. It'll scratch your glass big time. Top Fin could have done a way better job in making this algae scraper. It's bulky as heck. It sticks out. Look how far away it sticks out. It looks like the dang suction cups for picking glass panels up or picking your aquariums up. Stay away from that. Save your money. It sucks. Let me take you to another one that sucks. This one here. If you've ever been to Walmart, you've seen these. Now, this one here is okay. Mind you, this is on a 20-gallon long tank. Very thin glass. That should more than handle it. Look how much play when you turn this thing. The magnets suck. It's so sloppy. The only thing nice about this one is you can go around corners with it, as you can see here. Okay. But when you're wiping, even on this thin glass, look how much play. They don't stay together very well. Look at that. Now, with these ones as well, let me pull it out and put it on the table, and I'll do the same with the top fin one, and we're going to look at that. So this is just like the felt on both ends, okay? These do not clean algae off very well, even on those thin glass tanks, along with the other things I showed you. Now let's get back to that top fin one. I got another thing to explain about that, and then we're going to go into the two good quality algae scrapers, and one of which is my complete favorite. Anybody that has a tank like this that has aquascaped their tank that needs room, like this Texas Holy Rock, as you can see, is right up against the glass pretty much on this side and over here. Okay, you can see there's a little spaces there between the glass and the rocks, right? This thing is so thick. Why I said earlier, why I made a point to show you how far that sticks out here and on the inside. You cannot get that algae scraper to go around those rocks between the glass and whatever decorations you might have in there. That's another downfall of this thing. And this thing has a lot of play. You can still hear that. I don't even want to move it because of the stupid sand that's stuck, and we'll pull it out and I'll show you what it looks like in there. So this has almost like a hard nubs. There's a lot of little nubs in there. It's going to be hard to see because it's wet. But If you go to the store, you just run your hand over there. These are like the hard plastic little nubbies in there, and it's terrible trying to get sand out from under these, in between these things. Once it gets in there, I've used hot water, cold water, toothbrush. I cannot get the sand out of these once it gets in here. These two algae scrapers, don't waste your money. They're terrible. They cause you more work than the purpose they were actually made for, was to make cleaning your tanks a little bit easier. Now, let me show you my second favorite algae scraper. These are actually good. Mag Float. These have a really strong magnet. Now, as I said before, they all have a little bit of play in them like this, okay? But if the algae scraper was made a little better, this doesn't even matter. When you have this play on those crappier ones, that becomes a problem. Why I say that is, this is the floating type. And if you're buying an algae scraper, invest in the floating type ones. Because if it does fall off, it's going to float to the surface. So the play, if it happens to break free, it's going to float to the surface, making it easier for you to grab and put back together. Much easier. Not getting water all up your arm and dripping it all over the floor, right? Another thing about this is, it's really light. It's not bulky and heavy like that top fin. Goes around the corner super easy. And I have never yet, while doing this with this Mag Float algae scraper, I've never even had it fall off. So there's some algae right down below the surface. Now check this out. That's another thing I like about it, because the magnet's so strong in this thing. I can put it down in the sand, go across there, get that off. You see it's taking it right off, no problem. And listen. There's no sand trap between them. All the way across. Around the corner. You can go fast. You can go fast. You don't have to worry about it falling off like this. You do that with that top fin one, it would have fell off 8 times. And I'd have had to stop using it because all the sand's stuck in there. See? Look. Let me see. Let me try to make it fall off. There's a piece of algae down here. Let's go back into the sand. Let's get it. Back up. No sand stuck in it. Turn it. Turn it. Turn it. That is a good algae scraper. As you can see, it does a good job. It doesn't fall off. It doesn't get sand stuck in it. And I was going hard there and it still wouldn't fall off. So if you want to get the Mag Float, that's going to be a good algae scraper for you. Keep in mind that it does still have a little bit of thickness there. So if you have rocks like I showed you earlier that are close to the glass, you're still going to have a hard time getting that in there. Which brings me to my #1 favorite algae scraper. It is definitely worth the money. They are on the expensive side, but like I said in my previous video not long ago, you get what you pay for in this hobby. And this is certainly proves to be one of those cases. And that would be the flippers. These are the best, hands down, algae scrapers you can buy. This is the Nano. And what's amazing even about the Nano, it's only designed for maybe as high as a 55-gallon tank. It's really more for the 20 gallons, the 10 gallons tanks. But I've been using this for my small tanks, my 55, and for a long while, I even used these on my 75 gallons, and it worked. It was getting the magnet strength was getting a little low because of the thicker glass, but it still worked. And with this one, you get a scraper, and you can flip it, and then you have a pad on the backside. But check this out. It's much easier. It flows easier on the glass. Even with the Mag Float, you got to really push that thing around the glass. You get a lot of resistance. With this flipper, it's so easy to go around, nice and smooth and easy, and clean all this stuff off, right? Obviously, if anybody knows about the flipper, you can go around the corners easy because it floats as well. And you can do the old flip trick. Let's see if I can do it. I've never really done it that much. I think the easy trick is take it to the corner. Boom. Let's try that again. Didn't get it good. That's how I do the flip. I take it to the corner. As you can see right now, it's on the scraper side. We're going to flip it. It's hard to do. Bring it down a little bit. Flip it to the other glass. Boom, you're on the pad side now. Flipper has got it down. These are the best algae scrapers going. Now, let me show you. Let's take it to thicker glass. Let's see how it does on a 75. Alright guys, here it is. I got the flipper on a 75 gallon tank. The difference in thickness between the 55 to the 75 gallon is this is 3/8 thick glass, the 55 is a 1/4 inch thick. Okay? This is just the Flipper Nano. They make the bigger ones. I am going to get some, but they are expensive. But if you want a good algae scraper you're not going to have problems with, and you can get between rocks like this, and I'll show you that too because of its slim design, this is the one you want. Flipper's the best. But look, from a 55 gallon tank, 1/4 inch thick glass, up to this 75 gallon tank with 3/8 thick glass on the Flipper Nano, which is not designed to handle this thick of glass. It's still doing the job. It's still doing it. Now, check this out. Look at that thin profile. Look, I can get right clear down. See all this algae sitting here, right? Look at this room that I have. I can slide right in behind there, in between there, and get this algae off. You can see it floating up off the glass. Just another awesome feature about the flippers. So, if you want to spend money on an algae scraper, do it right the first time, get you a flipper. I guarantee you're going to love it. Second best is that mag float. It works good, but as you can see with the features of the flipper dwarfs it. So, if you only want to get one because of the price, I suggest getting a bigger one that you can get and use one for all your tanks. You don't have to buy multiple of them. I would like 2 or 3 of them, but if you want to get the one bigger one to do all tanks, it'll work on your smaller tanks. You're just going to have a lot more resistance because of the thinner glass when you have when you're oversizing your scraper for a smaller tank, but that's okay. You can get one flipper, you can do all your tanks, and you're going to have the best you can get for your money. So, yep, hope you liked the video. Let me know. Leave a comments below. Let me know if it helps you. Flipper.